Do you want Haaland or Trent or Salah or Harry Kane in your draft for FPL? Today, I'm going to take you through 5 different drafts that answer all of those questions. What is up, everyone? FPL Harry here. Today, we are having a look at 5 different FPL drafts that combine and give you a solution depending on what premiums you want to own. So if you want Trent and Kane and Haaland, there's a draft in here for you. If you want just Trent and Haaland, if you want Haaland and Salah, there is a draft with every single combination that you could want. All of them do include Haaland though, because I don't think there's any team that you should be putting out that doesn't include the robot. Let me know what you think. Let me know which premiums you're going to own in your draft. Before we dive in, we're going to try and hit 1,000 likes on the video. We are just 2 days away from the start of the Premier League season, so make sure you've liked and make sure you've subscribed as well for all the content we've got in pre-season, but every game week as well this season. Let's dive in. Where else to start then? I think the most popular draft that people are pulling together at the moment, which is the Haaland only draft. So this is a 3-5-2 formation. We'll spend a little bit longer on this draft because the other drafts will only really talk about the players that change from one draft to another. In this draft, we have gone with Onana in goal with Areola as the backup. Of course, Matt Turner of Arsenal is going to sign for Nottingham Forest, and that will be the best 4.0 to go with, but he hasn't moved, so all of these drafts do have Areola in at the moment. Onana coming in at 5 million is a nice price for him. I do think Manchester United will start the season well defensively with Wolves at home, Nottingham Forest at home in the first 3 fixtures. Now, defensively, I don't think there's a need for 4 big defenders. I think Gabriel and Estupiñán should be in every single one of your drafts because they are 5 million and 0.5 million cheaper than both John Stones and cheaper than Ben Chilwell as well. So I do think Gabriel for the Arsenal clean sheets, for the long-term fixtures they have, and Estupiñán for the Brighton fixtures should be in all your drafts. Then in here, you have a 5.5 million slot, and you can go with John Stones, who I've got at the moment, or you could go with Ben Chilwell, or even Reece James, who might be on penalties as well for Chelsea at the start of the season while Nkunku is out injured. John Stones is the one I've got. Those Manchester City fixtures are nice. And then in here, 2 4.0 defenders. I've gone with Baldock, who's playing right wing back for Sheffield United. And then I've gone with Kabore, who's playing right wing back for Luton Town. So 2 teams that do have a little bit of attacking threat because of their positioning, even if they don't keep a lot of clean sheets. This draft does have 0.5 million in the bank, which I do think is valuable. But if you don't want to keep it, upgrading Baldock to the likes of Botman, Tyrone Mings, or Rico Henry is something you could do with this draft. Then in midfield, it is where a lot of the money goes. So we've got double Arsenal midfielders in Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. You could also, with the 0.5 million in the bank, upgrade Martinelli to Martin Odegaard if you prefer him as an asset. But with the Arsenal fixtures to start the season, even without Gabriel Jesus, I do think starting with triple Arsenal is the best way to go. So I've gone with Bukayo Saka, Gabriel, and then Martinelli in this draft. We've also gone with double Manchester United in here to complete the triple up with Onana in goal. Again, their fixtures to start the season are really nice. So Bruno Fernandes for the penalty threat, for the assist threat is there at 8.5 million. And then Marcus Rashford for the goal threat, particularly while Haaland is out injured still for the start of the season. 9 million for Rashford. Even if he's playing left wing and they play someone else up front and Haaland is available for the start of the season or even game week 2, I still think he's the best Manchester United to go with. And the final option everyone's going with is a 6.5 million midfielder. I've gone with Matoma in this one, but it could be Mbeumo, it could be Eze. Take your pick of the bunch. Those are the top 3 that I think I'd be going with. And Mbeumo probably has the set pieces and the longer term fixtures. Eze is explosive. He has some good fixtures, but he is on penalties and all set pieces as well. Whereas Matoma is probably with the team that's going to score the most goals and has the best opening run of fixtures. And then up front, it is Erling Haaland. Of course, the robot is in there. Don't be put off by him not performing well in the Community Shield. We remember last Community Shield, he didn't do anything. Suddenly everyone was like, Darwin's going to be better than Haaland. And then the rest of the season was the rest of the season, and Haaland broke every record in the book. Then Ollie Watkins as the second striker at 8 million. I do think he's the best one to start with. I don't want to go with Jackson at Chelsea. My Chelsea opinion is that while Nkunku is out, I do worry for the start of the season exactly how we'll gel together, whether it's going to be Gallagher or Chukwuemeka playing at Cam in that attacking role where Nkunku was going to be. We will not be as good going forward, which I do think will impact Jackson. So I do prefer Watkins. And then Obama at the moment is my favourite 4.5 million forward. Will get good minutes even off the bench for West Ham. So this is the Haaland only draft. It's a 3-5-2, but let's have a look at the next one. The next draft is if you want to add Mo Salah in there or even Harry Kane, and we'll have a look at the Harry Kane variation in a minute. There are 4 players that change here. So instead of going for the double Arsenal midfield, you drop down Martinelli to another 6.5 million midfielder in Eze or Mbeumo, or if you don't have them, so the Matoma, you have 2.6.5 million midfielders in here. You then also downgrade Ollie Watkins to João Pedro, and João Pedro is one of the best enablers if you're trying to add other premiums into your draft. I think if you're having more premiums than just Haaland, having João Pedro for their start of the season is a great idea. That allows you to use the money that you free up from downgrading in midfield and up front to go and get Mo Salah in place of Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is a good option, but he is likely to play as one of 2 8s in midfield alongside Mason Mount. So what exactly that does to his positioning, we don't know, which is why I favour selling him over selling Bukayo Saka or Marcus Rashford. And actually, you have a little bit of money spare in the bank, so you can upgrade your second 4.0 defender to Saliba and go for double Arsenal defence because you've also sold your double Arsenal in midfield. So this team would allow you to play a combination of a 4-5-1 with a 4 at the back with a 3-5-2. So you can rotate your 4 defenders that you've got there along with João Pedro depending on the fixtures. Now, if you wanted to have Harry Kane instead of Mo Salah, it's pretty straightforward. You would downgrade Mo Salah to a 4.5 million midfielder. In the moment, it's Nakamba. You could have Anderson at Newcastle. He looks good short term, but isn't nailed for minutes long term. And you upgrade your 4.5 million forward all the way up to Harry Kane. Both of these drafts, of course, leave no money in the bank. But again, this draft would rotate a 4-4-2 with a 3-4-3 as well, if you want Kane or if you want Salah alongside Haaland. Next up is if you want to fit Trent Alexander-Arnold into your team alongside Erling Haaland. Now, the positioning of Trent is being mixed. He's played so many different positions in pre-season, so it's a little bit difficult. But actually, it's not that hard to go and fit him in. All you have to do is sell your Arsenal midfielder, whether you've gone Odegaard or Martinelli, down to Eze and have a second 6.5 million midfielder. Then you downgrade your Onana in goal down to Johnston, who I actually think is an equally good goalkeeper for the start of the season. That 0.5 extra allows you to go and upgrade John Stones all the way up to Trent Alexander-Arnold, allowing you to play a 3-5-2 every single game week with Trent in there, Haaland in there, 2 6.5 million midfielders, keeping Saka, Rashford and Fernandes. If you did want to go and double up on Arsenal midfield instead of having Fernandes, you could easily do that with this draft as well. It's just a little personal preference that I decided to keep Fernandes over Martinelli and Odegaard. 3-5-2 Trent and Haaland draft. Next up, we're adding more premiums to this. This is a draft if you want Trent, Haaland and Mo Salah or Harry Kane in there. So we've got the 4.5 million goalkeeper in there. We do have Saliba in here. So the difference in here, instead of having 5 starting midfielders, which has been the case in pretty much all of the drafts we've seen so far, you only have 4. So you do have to sacrifice and not go with Marcus Rashford and go with Bruno Fernandes for the start of the season. If you did potentially want to downgrade one of your 5 million defenders to a 4.5, you could, but I don't necessarily love a lot of the 4.5 million options. Then what this has allowed you to do is free up the money to upgrade in midfield to go and get Mo Salah in there. Of course, we're going with João Pedro. If you're having more premiums, João Pedro has to be in your draft. This would be a 4-4-2 every week. So you would have Trent, Gabriel, Estupiñán and Saliba. So double Arsenal in defence. Saka, Salah, your 6.5 million midfielder of choice. I've gone with Matoma. Then Fernandes to cover the Manchester United attack. But you could, of course, add in here. You could have Odegaard or Martinelli as well, with Haaland and João Pedro up front, with Kabore on the bench, with Anderson and Obama as well. This draft looks very similar if you want to go and add in Harry Kane as well, instead of having Mo Salah. You like the way Kane is starting the season. It does look like he might stay at Spurs at least until the end of August. You just downgrade Mo Salah to a 4.5 million midfield and you upgrade your 4.5 million forward all the way up to Harry Kane. So again, if you want Trent, Haaland plus either Harry Kane or Mo Salah, these are the drafts for you. And finally, it's the big one. Do you want Haaland, Kane and Mo Salah in your draft? It's actually possible and the team doesn't look nearly as bad as I bet you think it does going into this draft. So you have your 4.5 million goalkeeper in there. You have Gabriel, you have Estupiñán, and then in your defence as your third defender, you rotate a 4.5 million Tyrone Mings with another 4.5 million Levi Colwill and even with Kabore as well. So take your pick of the 2 4.5 million defenders you want. I've gone with Mings and I've gone with Colwill because I do think they rotate pretty nicely to start the season. Then in midfield, this is maybe where there's a little bit of sacrifice. You have Mo Salah, of course, and then you have three 6.5 million midfielders in Mbeumo, Mitoma, and Eze. With up front, you have Haaland and Kane, and then you have João Pedro as well. The only real thing that this is missing is maybe a bit more Arsenal attack and Manchester United attack. I personally don't think this draft is something you would do, but it's just to make you think that actually if you tried to add a second or even a third premium into your team, there isn't that much downside and there is a lot of upside that you could potentially get with your squad. So we've had a look at a draft with just Haaland and Trent, Haaland and Salah, Haaland and Kane, Haaland, Trent, Salah, Haaland, Trent, Kane, and then Haaland, Salah, Kane as well. 7 actual drafts, but 5 draft templates, depending on the premiums you want. If this isn't a useful video 2 days before the start of the season to help you or confuse you with your FPL team, then I don't really know what is. Thank you all so much for watching. Drop a like on the video if you have found it useful as well. Subscribe if you are new around here. We are chasing 70,000 subscribers before the start of the season, and any support, whether you've already subscribed and you want to like the video or you haven't and you subscribe now, would be massively appreciated. Thank you all for watching. Enjoy your tinkering. 2 days to the start of FPL, and we'll be back again very soon.